were you feeling coming in here tonight?
It was the end of a road trip, so I wanted to end strong. When the last game of a road trip, you just got to leave it all out there.
You were in complete command, not only scoring, dishing out assists, meanwhile checking Kawhi Leonard and James Harden on the other end. What kind of statement does this game make?
I feel like I'm the best two-way player in the game, so I want to just take on the challenge each and every night. I'm trying to help my team get wins. We got a tough schedule coming up, so I'm going to try to keep it going.
Jaylen Brown just got hit with the coldest snub of the entire season. Another straight-up robbery for Eastern Conference Player of the Month, and this time, JB wasn't staying quiet about it. He spoke up loud and clear, and guess what? He had every right to. Brown dropped more points, snagged more boards, and racked up more steals and blocks than Brunson, all while being more efficient and leading his squad to a better record. That's wild. If anything, that award just poured gasoline on a fire that was already blazing at home. Because lately, Jaylen Brown hasn't just been responding to criticism, he's been dropping statements every night. Over his last 19 games, JB's been on a crazy tear, averaging 32.2 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 5.5 assists on straight-up elite efficiency, 50.7% from the floor and 37.5% from deep. That's superstar-level production right there. And then came that night, the one that silenced every single doubter. On the road against the Clippers, Brown dropped a monster 50-piece like it was nothing. The man was unstoppable, making defenders look lost out there. This is the full breakdown of how this stretch turned Jaylen Brown into one of the most feared players in the entire league, and why this run just might flip the script completely for Boston. For December alone, Jaylen Brown was on a straight-up tear. He averaged a wild 31.7 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game. That's nearly 32 points a night. And get this, that's a brand new Celtics record for the month of December, passing absolute legends like Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Jason Tatum, and John Havlicek. That's elite company right there. He was this close to becoming just the second player in Celtics history to average 32 points while shooting 52% from the field and knocking down 40% from deep for an entire month. The only other guy to ever do that? Jason Tatum. Over 14 straight games, Brown either dropped 30-plus points or notched a double-double. Talk about consistency. That's the kind of stretch that screams Player of the Month material, but we all know how that turned out. Then, last night, JB made even more history, joining Larry Bird and his running mate Jason Tatum as the only Celtics ever with multiple 50-point games. And he didn't just score, he put on a show. It was a full-on scoring clinic from start to finish. The Bear never had a chance to contain his hesitation pull-up. He was cooking defenders all night. That silky floater, smooth as butter. And this season, his mid-range jumper has been shockingly deadly. But here's what really seals it. To thrive in Boston, you've got to buy into Missoula ball, and JB's done exactly that. He's hunting threes with straight-up confidence, stepping into every shot like he owns the court, and punishing defenses without mercy. By the end of that unforgettable night, Jaylen Brown wrapped it up in style. 16 for 26 from the field, 6 for 10 from deep, plus 6 assists just to flex a little more. Then he sealed the whole performance with words that hit perfectly, and honestly, they said it all. Because this moment, it felt familiar. Ever since JB stepped into the league, people have been sleeping on him. Scouts once said he was too smart to be an NBA player. Imagine that. Others claimed he and Jason Tatum would never work as a championship duo in Boston. And to make it worse, even Team USA passed on him, choosing his own teammates Derek White and Drew Holiday instead. Even LeBron James had to admit it, saying that being underappreciated is literally built into Jaylen Brown's name. Yet every single time someone doubts him, JB claps back the only way he knows how, through growth and dominance. Every setback just fuels another level up. And now, with Jason Tatum rehabbing that Achilles injury, JB hasn't flinched once. He stepped straight into the 1A role in Boston like it was meant for him. That's leadership under pressure. And here's the wild part. The rest of the East better stay alert, because Boston is quietly sitting at the 3 seed, just 3 games behind Detroit and half a game back of New York. The entire conference is wide open. Beantown is buzzing, for good reason. This team is cooking even after losing 3 core pieces from their 2024 title squad: Drew, Kristaps, and Big Al. And let's not forget their other superstar, the Big Deuce himself. The last time we saw a fully healthy Tatum, he torched Madison Square Garden for 42 points, and he's still on the sidelines. If Boston keeps this fire going, they're the one team in the East with real championship DNA left standing. Which brings us full circle, back to the 2024 Finals MVP, the hooper who casually gives lectures at MIT like it's nothing. Jaylen Brown isn't begging for validation anymore. He's demanding recognition. And if this stretch tells us anything, it's clear. The best of JB is still on the way. Now that Jaylen Brown's flipped the switch, you can feel the energy shifting in Boston. Every night, the Garden's rockin' like it's the playoffs already. The fans can sense something brewing, that same hunger that built the city's basketball legacy. JB's not just hooping, he's setting the tone for the whole squad. You can see it in the way he carries himself, calm, locked in, almost like a man who's already seen the future. Every bucket he drops, every defensive stop, it's like he's saying, "I told you so." And honestly, nobody's got an answer for him right now. The confidence is dripping, the swagger's back, and it's contagious. Boston's young core is feeding off it too. Derek White's playing fearless, Peyton Pritchard is firing without hesitation, and even the new faces are sliding right into their roles. It's like everyone's buying into the system because JB's leading by example, with that silent fire that doesn't need words to be felt. And the best part is, he's not chasing headlines, they're chasing him. Reporters are scrambling for every quote, every highlight, every viral clip. The league is finally realizing what Boston's been knowing for years. Jaylen Brown isn't just a co-star, he's a franchise pillar. Opposing teams are starting to treat him like the main problem. Double teams, traps, full court pressure, none of it matters. He's shredding defenses with patience, control, and that killer mindset that only elite players have. With Tatum's return on the horizon, the East should be scared, because when these two reconnect healthy and hungry, it's a wrap. JB's message is loud and clear. This isn't just his moment, it's a warning. The league slept on him for too long, but now Jaylen Brown is wide awake, locked in, and leading Boston straight towards another banner. And as the noise around the league gets louder, Jaylen Brown just keeps moving like he's on his own time. No gimmicks, no drama, just pure domination. Every game feels like another reminder that he's not here to fit into anyone's expectations. He's here to rewrite them. People used to say he was too unpredictable, too different, too hard to fit in. But now, that same individuality is what makes him unstoppable. He's evolved into a player who controls the pace, reads the floor like a vet, and strikes when it matters most. It's like watching someone who finally understands exactly who he is and isn't afraid to show it. You can see the shift in how the league is treating him too.
Mindset was there. How were you so effective?
Just being aggressive, and tonight just one of those special nights where the ball just felt like every shot was going in, but I'm happy we got the win. Now we get back home, I'm ready to go home, so let's get out of here.
You said it, you guys go 4-1, tied the season high in scoring tonight. What excites you most about the way you guys are playing right now?
We played unselfish, we made a lot of shots, and then we got enough stops to finish it off, so I felt great about today.
Jaylen, congrats.
All right,
Get some rest.
Thank you.
Opponents aren't underestimating him anymore. They're game planning around him. Every night he's drawing double coverage, forcing adjustments, and still finding ways to score, dish, or defend at a high level. That's star power that can't be denied. And behind closed doors, word around the locker room is that JB's become the heartbeat of the team. He's vocal in film sessions, steady in the clutch, and setting a standard for what it means to wear green. It's not just about stats, it's about impact, about presence, about that energy that makes everyone around him better. Boston fans can feel it, that spark of something special building again. You can see it in the way JB talks after games, no longer defending himself, but defining himself. His mindset shifted from proving people wrong to showing what's next. Because at this point, it's bigger than awards or recognition. It's about legacy. And if this version of Jaylen Brown stays locked in, the league is about to see a whole new era of Celtics basketball, one built on confidence, loyalty, and a star who finally stopped waiting for approval and started taking what's his. What's wild is how fast the stories flipped. A few months ago, people were debating if Jaylen Brown could even lead a team like Boston. Now, it's making it look effortless. Every night he steps on the floor, it's like a statement to the league. I'm built for this. The way he's carrying the Celtics through injuries and roster changes proves he's no longer just a sidekick. He's the engine driving this whole operation. Even the critics have gone quiet. Those same analysts who once called him inconsistent are now breaking down his footwork, his playmaking reads, his leadership, like they just discovered him. But real ones know this didn't happen overnight. JB's been grinding for years, sharpening every weakness until there was no left to point at. That's not hype, that's hard work showing up on the scoreboard. You can feel how the team responds to him too. When Brown gets going early, the energy in the building shifts. Teammates start cutting harder, the defense tightens up, and the crowd turns electric. It's that rare kind of influence that only true stars have, the ability to lift everyone around them just by playing their game. And here's the truth nobody can ignore. With Tatum getting close to full strength again, Boston's ceiling is sky high. Imagine JB in this rhythm, Tatum back in sync, and that defense clicking. That's nightmare fuel for the rest of the East. Jaylen's story isn't about proving doubters wrong anymore. That chapter's closed. Now it's about domination, about legacy, about showing that he's not just one of the best in Boston, he's one of the best in basketball, period. If he keeps this up, the only question left won't be whether he deserved that Player of the Month. It'll be whether anyone can stop him from becoming the face of the league. And now the whole NBA is starting to feel that shift. Jaylen Brown isn't just having a hot streak, he's changing the temperature of the entire league. Every highlight, every interview, every quote carries that quiet confidence of a man who knows he's entering a different level. This isn't the same JB people once doubted. This is a player fully in control of his story. What's hitting different this season is how mature his game looks. He slowed everything down. No rushing, no forcing, just smooth execution. You can see it in how he reads double teams, how he trusts his teammates, how he balances attack with patience. That's superstar IQ on display. And the scary part, he's still getting better. The way Boston rallies around him says it all. You've got role players feeding off his energy, the bench hyped every time he checks in, and the crowd chanting his name before the tip even goes up. It's not just performance anymore, it's presence. Jaylen's become the emotional spark that keeps this team locked in through every grinded-out battle. The league's taking notice too. Analysts are starting to whisper his name in MVP conversations, and opponents are treating him like a top-tier threat. Coaches are throwing their best defenders at him, and he's still finding ways to cook them, whether it's a step-back three, a drive through contact, or a perfect dime to a cutter. And through it all, JB's keeping it humble, focused, and laser-locked on the goal, winning. No distractions, no noise, just results. The way he's moving right now, you can tell he's not just playing for a stat line. He's building a legacy brick by brick. If this version of Jaylen Brown keeps shining, Boston won't just be chasing another banner, they'll be witnessing the rise of a new Celtics legend, one who's writing his own chapter in real time and making sure the world doesn't forget his name. At this point, it's clear, Jaylen Brown isn't just on a heater, he's cementing his status as one of the league's elite. The confidence, the poise, the control, it all screams superstar energy. Every time he touches the ball, the crowd leans forward because they know something special is about to happen. You can feel that tension, that buzz, that sense that JB's about to deliver again. But what's really wild is how he's doing it, not just through scoring, but through total command of the game. He's making the right reads, creating for teammates, locking up defensively, and setting the tempo like a true floor general. That's evolution on full display. The kid who once relied on athleticism has turned into a technician, sharp, deliberate, and deadly efficient. And the respect he's earning around the league, it's loud now. Players are dopping him up post-game, coaches are giving props in interviews, and analysts are finally putting respect on his name. Even rival fans can't deny what they're seeing, a complete player taking over with skill and maturity. Boston's front office has to be grinning too. They've been betting on this version of JB for years, the one who could not just play next to Tatum but lead alongside him. Now that vision's unfolding right in front of their eyes. When both are healthy, the Celtics don't just look good, they look unbeatable. What makes it even better is the chip on his shoulder hasn't gone anywhere. You can still see it in the way he celebrates after a tough bucket, and that stare after a big defensive stop. It's personal. Every performance feels like a reminder. He's not asking for respect, he's taking it. And if the league thought this run was temporary, they better think again, because Jaylen Brown isn't slowing down. He's just entering his prime, and he's coming for everything they said he couldn't have. Right now, Jaylen Brown's story feels like a full circle moment, from being labeled as too smart for basketball to becoming the brain and backbone of a title contender. It's wild how the same qualities that made people question him are now exactly what make him stand out. His focus, discipline, and mindset separate him from most stars. This man studies the game like it's science and plays it like art. Every move on the floor feels intentional. When he attacks the rim, it's power with purpose. When he steps back for that jumper, it's all rhythm and confidence. And when he locks in on defense, forget about it. Opponents are stuck trying to guess his next move. That's the sign of a player who's mastered both sides of the game. The connection between him and the city is deeper than basketball now. Boston rides for JB because he represents that same grind, that same no excuses mentality the city's built on. You hear it in the cheers, see it in the signs, and feel it every time he checks back into the game. It's like he's carrying the whole culture of the team on his shoulders. And let's be real, he's earned every bit of this shine. From trade rumors to being questioned about his fit, JB stayed solid. He never begged for approval, never blamed anyone, just kept working until his game spoke louder than any headline ever could have. That's leadership in its purest form. Now the talk around the league is shifting. People aren't asking if Jaylen Brown can be the guy anymore. They're asking how far he can take Boston. And judging by how he's playing, that ceiling looks sky high. Because when talent, maturity, and hunger all click at once, you're not just watching a breakout, you're witnessing a takeover. Jaylen Brown isn't just chasing greatness anymore, he's living it, one game at a time. And now it all leads to this, the moment where Jaylen Brown's grind finally meets his glory. From being doubted to dominating, from whispers to headlines, he's turned every bit of criticism into motivation. The evolution's complete. He's no longer the other guy in Boston. He's the heartbeat, the leader, and the statement that this franchise is built to last. The way he's playing right now, you can feel the shift. Every bucket, every stop, every clutch moment carries weight. JB's no longer just chasing respect, he's rewriting what it means to earn it. This isn't about being better than anyone, it's about proving that hard work, focus, and belief still build legends. And the Celtics, they're feeding off that energy. The chemistry is real, the trust is back, and the whole team is playing with that old-school Boston pride. You can see it in the hustle, hear it in the crowd, and feel it in the way they move together on the floor, like a team that knows they're chasing something bigger than just wins. Jaylen's journey shows that greatness doesn't always come loud. Sometimes it grows quietly until it's too undeniable to ignore. And now, as Boston climbs the standings, one thing's clear: the league is no longer overlooking him. They're looking up at him. Because this stretch, this version of JB, it's not a face, it's a warning to every team out there. Boston is back, and Jaylen Brown is leading the charge with purpose and fire. So if you've been rocking with this story, don't just watch, be part of it. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this with someone who needs to see how far JB has come. And tell us in the comments, is Jaylen Brown the most underrated superstar in the league right now? Let's talk about it.